The Legacy of Wisdom project gathers and publishes answers to many of humanity's most pressing questions from some of our most experienced and profound leaders.
Some people use words like spirituality or religion to describe it. What role do these things, or is there another aspect, since you've come out of the psychology area as well, is there another way to talk about this, or is really, as you go into this, a matter of spirit or religion?
Well, for me, spirituality and religion are two very different things. When we started, I had the good fate to be part of a small group that actually formulated the basic principles of transpersonal psychology with Abe Maslow and Tony Sutich and Sonja Margulies and Jim Fadiman and other people. So when we sort of started transpersonal psychology, the idea is to bring into a synthesis the best of spirituality and the best of science. That doesn't mean that you can integrate the dogmas of organized religions. That's more interesting from the history of religion. But you can be very spiritual and have no religion whatsoever, or you can be very religious and it's very hard to find any spirituality in it. So for me, spirituality is something that's very personal. It's about my relationship to the cosmos, to the universe. Something that doesn't require a church, doesn't require a temple, a synagogue. This is where your temple is your body or nature. It's also about discovering the divine within, discovering your own divinity and divinity of everything else. It's universal, it's all-encompassing. It includes nature, it includes other species and so on. Quite different from most of organized religions. What an organized religion does, it usually starts from transpersonal experiences. All the founders, all the early disciples, all the prophets, they actually have experiences of the transpersonal realms. But then when religion becomes organized, it becomes something else. It frequently loses the connection to the spiritual source. Then it's become something that's concerned about secular things, about money, properties, hierarchies, and so on. You can be very big in the hierarchy of a religion without ever having had any spiritual experiences. So what spirituality really does, and you find it in the mystical branches of all religions, in Christian mystics, the Sufis, the Hasidic Jews, and so on, where you have actual practice, when you meditate, when you spend time in prayers and fasting and stuff like that, and you have direct experiences. Now, when that is lost, when the religion becomes organized, then you have a system that sort of unites people usually around a certain kind of archetypal images. It's Jesus and Mary, or it's Muhammad and so on, or it's Moses. And at the same time, it sets that group against other groups. So it divides the world rather than joining. A religare means to bring together, bind together again that was separated. So you have then a situation where you are defined by your religion. We are Christians, and the rest of the world are pagans, and we have to convert them, or at worst, eradicate them. Or, we are the Muslims, and you are infidels, or we are Jews, you're goyim, and that is enough to kill. And not only that, but the divisions within a certain religions are enough to kill. You have centuries of the, bloodsheds between the Catholics and the Protestants, the Sunnis and the Shiites. So that's not a religion that helps us very much in the world. We need spirituality. We need spiritual systems that kind of bring in everybody. And the great mystics would not make the distinction. I'm a Christian mystic. I'm a Muslim mystics and so on. Good Indian gurus say, well, there are all these great sort of beings, Moses and Krishna and Muhammad and Jesus, So I think we need that kind of a spirituality in the world.
More inclusive spirituality, more global concept.
And that's interesting that what I call the holotropic states, the holotropic states actually bring in this kind of a spirituality, all-encompassing. And if it brings you Islamic images or Christian images and so on, it just sort of deepens your faith. But you see, that's one of the ways that you can reach the absolute. But your connection with the source out of which all these forms come, and you don't want to get stuck with the archetypal images. Joseph Campbell used to say, a useful deity has to be transparent for the transcendent. If you make it opaque, you have idolatry. So it's something, the archetypal images are something that points to the absolute, to the source out of which everything comes. But it's not. It would be a mistake to make it opaque and sort of worship it, because then you have problems with the groups that are sort of have a different path to the source.
You seem to point to transcendental experience, though, as being a key aspect of this fulfillment of person.
Well, you can experience many stages towards the absolute. I mean, you can have, for example, a very animistic kind of an experience when you feel one is with nature. You feel sort of the consciousness in trees and in plants and in animals, and feel sort of kinship with other species. But that's just one step. Or you can explore the archetypal world, and it's certainly an important step on the way to the absolute. But I don't think that you will have a fully fulfilling experience until you transcend any specific forms. So the kind of experience that I found myself, and also many other people that I work with, that seems to bring that sense of fulfillment, comes basically in two forms. One of them is in the form of a extremely powerful sort of words are not even appropriate for that, source that feels like light, but it's much more than light. I mean, there's a sense of all of existence being present there. There's intelligence, there's infinite creativity, which is in that. And then you have a sense that that's the source out of which everything comes. And then you look at, how the creation happens and why it happens, and you get those kinds of, fundamental ontological, cosmological questions. I collected these kinds of insights in a book called The Cosmic Game, hundreds and hundreds of people. And there's another possibility when you can have a sense of fulfillment, and that's very, very interesting. That's the experience of kind of supracosmic, metacosmic void, where there's a sense of nothingness, but not being empty-headed, but there's a sense of pregnant nothingness, where you have a sense that nothing is concretized there, nothing exists in a specific form, but it has a potential for creating everything. There's some remote parallel to what in physics they have the plenum, the vacuum that they call plenum, actually. All of existence there, it's an incredible amount of energy and so on. So when you have that experience, there is also a sense of arriving, of sort of suddenly having the answer, out of which the one out of which existence emerges. The source. You have a sense of, either not asking and having to ask any questions, or having the questions answered. And then from either of those types of experiences, then of course the task is to go back and assume your incarnate form and live whatever your role is in this particular life, but you have that sort of a meta framework, this much larger sort of understanding what it is about and who you are.
It's a great picture.